Jack Harlow is going to be in the new White Men Can't Jump reboot. Now, the thing that has made this so interesting and talk worthy is supposedly this is his first ever on-screen audition, and it impressed Kenya Barris as well as Kalmatic or whoever the fuck that is directing. I don't know how to pronounce the name. I don't know if it's a collective or whatnot. But supposedly, this is a reboot. He will be taking over the Woody Harrelson role. Now, in case people were wondering, well, can Jack Harlow hoop? At the All-Star weekend, he showed he got game. No pun intended. But I am just of the mindset, like many others, this movie does not need to be rebooted. There are some classics that need to stay classics as for what it is. The original White Men Can't Jump stars Woody Harrelson, Wesley Snipes, the always beautiful Rosie Perez. You know what I mean? Like, nigga, one of the best lines from that whole movie is when they hustle Raymond and that nigga say, I'm gonna go to the car, get my other gun, kill everybody. And his girl's like, Raymond, and niggas just start taking off running. What thoughts?
I mean, how many things have we already rebooted? We were talking about this earlier as well. How many things have been rebooted or gotten requels as Scream, the new Scream coined the term, a reboot sequel, essentially like a
Kalmatic is one guy, directed the LeBron James Crypto.com commercial. Got it. Thank you for that info, Slan720.
But like if you think about it, Scream essentially did a requel in this new 2022 version that came out.
But how much did it make? I mean, what was like? Some people were like, "That's cool," but like, was it really accepted that well, where everybody just kept going to see it, or was it like people like, "All right, I saw this. It is." What
I mean,
it is.
If I'm looking at this correct, its worldwide box office was 136.
What's his budget? His budget probably ain't high. No,
I mean, I'll have to look it up, but just give me a second.
Just go to Box Office Mojo.
I'm on Box Office Mojo. I don't see the budget here. I just see what it made.
I will take this moment to say Spidey Sensei 72 brought up the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre was a requel that stuck. Let me say this, please go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/JAYWashington80. I did the Lord's work and I watched that movie, so you don't fucking have to.
The new Scream did gangbusters, dude. It had a $24 million budget and it made 138.
Not bad.
That's actually really you essentially tripled.
Yes, absolutely.
So
absolutely. But again, it's been long awaited. Let's just be real. It's been pushed back. Pandemic moves things. So that's what a lot of these movies. Right.
Yeah, I just did the math. It was 5 times. But anyway, yeah. I don't know why it took me that long. My point is, I get it. I get it one way or the other. But like, let's not pretend that requels haven't done fine depending on what you're talking about. Technically, Jurassic World was a requel.
Nigga, Coming to America 2 didn't do fine.
They did not do fine. I didn't say everything. I did not say everything.
Again, but no, this goes to the point of certain classics shouldn't be touched.
And what constitute a classic not being touched?
Not, nigga, leave it the buck alone.
No. I'm asking you the question. What constitutes certain movies not being touched?
Not being rebooted, not being requels, nothing.
That's not what I asked you.
You just asked what you just said it.
What meaning? Where do we draw the line? At some movies, it's okay to do that, and some they are not. I'm asking you, what is the criteria?
A lot of these movies in the 90s don't need to be redone. A lot of these 90s films do not need, nigga, no one was asking for Space Jam 2. A lot of these movies do not need to be done. Period.
Sure, but technically none of them, not a single movie needs to be done. Like again, some of that.
Don't give me this. Here go the semantic bullshit.
But I'm dead serious because think about it. This is the best example right here. Planet of the Apes was a reboot, and that shit was fucking incredible. It arguably better than any of the previous Planet of the Apes movies that had been done previously.
And they because they had a failed reboot. Because it had a failed reboot before. Do you remember the one with Tim Roth, with Michael Clark Duncan, bow your heads, and Terry Hoyt Tagala and Mark Wahlberg? Of course, the one Matt Reeves saw for how that one fucking failed and was able to do the Apes trilogy. That is a very rare instance. Also, it was 9 motherfucking movies in the original Planet of the Apes series.
I'm okay. I get that. Again, I don't if what you're saying is you just don't like the shits, that's fine. But I think even about how Star Trek did the whole Kelvin trilogy reboot. And I would argue, or requel, and I would argue that first one was phenomenal. The second one was meh. The third one was pretty good. Like, it just fucking depends, dude. I'm trying to say you got to be willing to try it one way or the other.
But that's the problem I'm saying with that, because then it goes to the theory of, and the exact, what a lot of people say, where does Hollywood have original ideas anymore?
Well, I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with the fact that we need more original ideas. I don't deny that at all. But for example, another reboot or a retelling. What about West Side Story? We didn't necessarily need it, but everybody said how fucking good the new West Side Story is. I haven't had a chance to sit down with it yet, but people have been giving it high fucking praises.
But you know how hard it was to sell that at first? Again, people had to finally go see it. But when people heard initially, we are remaking West Side Story, right? Everybody was like, why?
I don't disagree with you, but I think it would be better to go off the merit of you fucked this up. That's like to say you look like a dumbass because you took something and you fucked it up. But if you do it right, if you do it justice, if you do your own telling of it, and it works, I'm just curious. I'm genuinely curious.
There is a legacy behind things. Let's just call it for what it is. There's a legacy behind that. There are certain movies that were original IPs when they were created. Because again, yes, we talk about Planet of the Apes. That is an already established IP. But there are movies that are original IPs when they were created, and they made something dope. The Sidney Dean, Billy Hoyle relationship in White Men Can't Jump is what allowed us to get Money Train afterwards. So you're telling me we're going to go down this line? You get what I'm saying? We do another White Man Can't Jump. Now we say, hey, let's move on to Money Train. Bruh, it's certain things we do. Look, it took Afterlife to save Ghostbusters. And I know a lot of people are going to push back on me saying this. A lot of people are like, wait, what about the Ghostbusters with Paul Feig as director? How many people said they openly did not like it? And we're thankful for Afterlife. If we didn't have Afterlife, which is a true sequel to Ghostbusters 2, then you're stuck with a reboot that no one cared about.
Mad Max Fury Road was a reboot, and that was fucking phenomenal.
Saying, look at how rare we're looking at the bro.
No, but for every bad one you're giving me, I give you a good one in counter argument. So it's not that rare. A lot of reboots do exceptionally fucking. Bumblebee, for all intents and purposes, is like a prequel reboot, and that shit is much
your
better.
Your argument behind Bumblebee goes back to my argument about Planet of the Apes with Matt Reeves. It's
about what?
Nigga, how bad are them Transformers movies before Bumblebee?
Okay, but again, you've had things that are both good and bad, and you do them again, and they're still fucking good.
Shit shouldn't be done. I'm just look. Matter of fact, I'm trying to get my boy Moses Prim on here.
There we go. There's another one. Ocean's 11. Ocean's 11 obviously is an old school ass film, and they fucking arguably did it. It was a good film, and they did it much better with the trilogy with Brad Pitt and Clooney and all them. Like what? I'm not saying that we don't have an original IP problem.
Somebody just said, so California Joe. So you would like them to try to do Trading Places? Would you let them do Trading Places? Again, a classic.
They don't fuck it up. But yeah, if they can do it justice, all I'm saying is if you're gonna do it, don't fuck it up. That's the thing.
Because God damn it, I love hood classics, and I've been drinking tequila on air, so that's why.
I'm just of the mindset that as long as you don't fuck it up, why not? Like, you know what I'm saying? Just do it justice. That's it.
But I think, again, I hear what you're saying. If you do it justice, it's good. Make it happen. But the problem becomes, like I just stated, and like many people have stated, let some shit stay what it is and just start making original things.
I'm not saying that, but you need to also remember something about this, because I've been on both sides of this argument at one point or another. How many times have original IPs come out and people don't go fucking actually watch that shit? You know why Hollywood is doing this? You know why we're getting a phase 4 and 5 and 6 of the MCU and shit while they're rebooting Batman?
Don't do that.
No,
don't do that.
You know the goddamn answer.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
What you're not gonna do is cut me off when I'm trying to do my goddamn argument. My point is, it's a fucking business, and you know this. So if they are going to if they're going to go, we need to find a way to make motherfucking money, they're going to try and bank off of something they know is already a bankable idea. The problem is Hollywood is scared. Let's be really honest. They are scared to go with original IPs, but people have to show the fuck up. That's the problem. People have to show up for that original IP shit, and when they don't, then guess what they do? They go and reboot something else because they're like, we got to make this motherfucking money. Come on now.
It is always going to be a risk when you do an original property. That is just a given. That's a given. No.
Sure.
That's a given.
Sure.
It's always a risk. It is
Sure.
a risk when you do a reboot. There's risk regardless. But to bring up the MCU and then say Batman, there are many people who say, yes, the Batman is a great film, but just like a lot of people, like, do we need another Batman solo film coming in? And I know people are like, it's been X amount of years since this, blah, 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 blah. But I'm going to take away from the comic book movie thing because that's a whole nother can.
What about Creed, bitch? Creed is a fucking requel.
Creed is a fucking pickup of a nigga. It's a
requel. It's a requel. It is a fucking requel. It is a reboot / sequel. You come on now. You know goddamn well it is that is what that term means. It is a reboot / sequel, meaning it is still part of the continuity of the original films, but they have rebooted it completely. That you're not now just following
what
Rocky.
Rebooted, nigga? What rebooted about it? Please.
You have completely shifted who the center focus
no,
of the
Creed
franchise
is just a straight
is.
sequel. That's not a reboot, dog. That's just a straight
that's a
sequel.
Requel. That's
nigga,
a fucking requel.
Stop. Bro, stop.
Nigga, the same
nigga,
way.
Stop. This is what I love about this show. This is what I love about this show.
But see, you don't understand what the term is. Because again, did you watch the new Scream?
No, I haven't done it yet, and I've been told.
So that's why you don't understand what you're arguing.
No. Because I can literally go up what I'm arguing because you just brought up Creed, and Creed is just a direct sequel in a sense, right behind Rocky's last match. What are you talking about?
Listen to me.
Okay,
listen to me.
Okay, Arnold.
The term requel specifically introduced from Scream, that is where that term is coming from specifically, is saying you are keeping the core elements. So you still have major players like Sidney Prescott who show and Gale and Dewey that all show up in Scream 2022, right? But you have completely focused on new fucking characters. Point to me where Adonis Creed was floating around in Rocky. His daddy was, but my nigga was not a fucking thought in those films. Am I wrong?
This nigga's kid.
I am aware.
Apollo Creed was out here.
And who is the new focus of the Creed films? Is it Rocky?
No, it's based on Creed. I know what.
The focus is on Apollo Creed's kid, meaning you are still connected to the things that came before. That is what a requel specifically is. You are reinvigorating, rebooting the franchise, but you are still connected. The quill part is sequel, bitch, meaning you are still connected to the things that came before. Jesus fucking Christ. A reboot is Bel Air. Bel Air, that's a fucking reboot. It has nothing to do with the other stuff other than the fact that it is bringing you back to the Banks family, but a completely different iteration. That's a reboot. Yes, spin-off sequel. Literally part of it. It doesn't matter. I'm over it. I don't care. I really don't care.
This is what happens when light-skinned people get their feelings. And I can say this because earlier, this nigga called me colored. Okay. Blerds in the Hood every Tuesday and Thursday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. All full episodes exclusively available on Twitch. www.twitch.tv/BLERDS, the letter NTHEHOOD. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe.